still be able to pick up for yourself?
Oh, well, it's pretty hard to guess because we had some break also, right? Like it was a 7-day break for the team, so a lot of things could change. Meta evolving really fast at this TI. Like if you're watching every team rating different heroes, every team setting up for different heroes, so it's really hard to guess. Like I see only supports kinda staying the same, but core is like mixing up all the time, every day.
And all the beefy guys stay the same. The Primal Beast, the Bristleback, what is it, Kanka, being rated a lot.
I'd love actually if at TI, like every 2 or 3 days, Valve would get the players to power rank the meta heroes. Obviously confidential, and then once the next big patch comes out, it's like, so for the previous TI, this was the belief of the heroes. I know they're not going to do it, but it'd be cool to see how teams' perception of meta changes, because in draft, you kind of have to assume and guess, but you never really truly get their opinion until way later.
True sight from from everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's play a game, guys. What hero stops I'm gonna play this game?
That's a tough game. That's a tough game.
Let's all have one prediction.
I mean, he was playing Magnus in his pubs, right?
I mean, Magnus is an obvious choice here because he practiced it a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it's Things.
I want a Zeus.
Zeus, I want to see
Zeus.
also.
Nice,
Yes. Let's
nice.
go, double Zeus.
Double Zeus.
Natalie, what is your?
Ooh, I don't know. At first I was going to say Dazzle, but it was like this one immediately removed. I kind of wanted to go a little bit basic. Maybe just an Earth Spirit if the draft allows for it.
Alright, yeah. Sounds good. Spirit.
Beg for the pug now.
No, I'm good.
I love a good time.
I don't want to see more Pugders in my draft,
Yeah.
you know? In my pub. Draft.
turn to ban.
I like that Tundra decided to go for CK, you know, back for Skira because it's one of his better heroes.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, it's just like, it's stable for Skidder. I think that we can't, beat around the bush. He has had some shaky performances, and for CK, it's like, it's stable. Lane's going to be good. You know the game, kind of the trajectory of the hero the entire time. And it is a hero that if Toxin is going to push the boundaries on how aggressive you can be, CK can always join at different points in the game. So yeah, I think this is a very nice way to start your first game in the low bracket.
Yeah, but then you get Primal Beasted. And I rate Primal so highly, especially against these heroes like Chaos Knight, when he has all that health and he's going to get the Ags, he's just going to be able to be in the midst of this Chaos Knight who will not be able to use crit anymore, right? Just gets broken. 10 seconds! And I don't know, I think Primal being able to just scale, like being really strong early, being able to do well in like most mid matchups, if that's where you put it, into then being able to become a super late game, like terrifying hero. I love Primal. I feel so confident about any draft with this hero.
No, but it's the Primal Beast, right? Like you can say that against any other hero. Like CK is one of the better ones actually who can sustain on that lane against him. He has stun to put him in place and like not, care about him as much. Yeah, and he has a very high base damage as well to be able to less hit against him.
Yeah, that's only if it goes off lane. I like seeing Primal play from mid because then it's really easy for supports to like TP mid, fill a ball, smoke them up. Like I think we've seen Primal be so active on the map early when they do go mid. They're like you can be like level 4 and it's easy for you to get a kill on a side lane if you like go for like a bounty rune bottle refill, and then you can just quickly slide to the side lane, get a kill, go back mid.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially for Entity, Thompson can play a sick Primal Beast as well.
I love Primal Beast. Primal Beast is one of my favorite heroes on mid, and I think it's extremely strong. By the way, Apparition is one of great partners for Primal Beast because his vortex is amazing and also his ultimate. But overall, Primal Beast have insane amount of great partners, and we saw a lot of Primal Beast first picks even at playoff, right? Like it's pretty much in meta, and there is always a different answer to that, and I'm always curious, like, because we saw, for example, Mikoto play Kunka against Nisha, and he completely demolished him, but Liquid came back. It was a game like this. When we saw Primal Beast answer by Trent, which I think is not a really good answer, and when we saw a Shadow Demon answer, which in my opinion is like the best hero against Primal Beast, and if Tundra pull it out, because I don't see it banned, it might be a problem. It's completely shut down the hero, like literally completely.
Yeah, fully agree. Just the fact that you can just banish that hero away, and Primal, once you're in the fight, you're kind of stuck there until you get your cooldowns back to then get back out. And instead, they are going to go for a Weaver. This is a hero that they have played so far in the 4 role, but I think the main part of this phase is just the Grimstroke. When you have Grimstroke CK, the lane just plays itself. It's always points of aggression, always take that fight. And yeah, the Primal can also try and fight, but if you're trying to initiate and now you're getting 2-3 stuns thrown back into your face, you can't stay there and trample the entire time. You're going to have to disengage. For this safe lane, is going to be very potent from Tundra.
And I've seen this video before from 9, and I mean, to me, it's pretty underwhelming. I'd much rather prefer if they pick something like Shadow Demon or Phoenix in that spot, because those two supports are having like much greater impact than Weaver, in my view.
But at least we're gonna give a lot of like tempo to the game. It's gonna be great partners for whatever mid laner we decide to pick for Thompson. It can be, I don't know, Invoker, or it can be Earth Spirit, anything can work.
Pangolier potentially.
Pangolier is not so strong, but people still pick it, right? Like it's a little bit downgraded since last patches, but still it's strong.
Wait, we said we wanted Zeus. We should just be channeling Zeus right now. What are we doing?
And there is Naga Siren, right? So now we need something to deal with illusions, so Pango also can be that option.
Exactly, yeah. I think Pango's a safe bet, but my heart, hopes and my dreams.
I think this Naga pick creates so many opportunities for 33 actually. He can pick his favorite Darkseer here. I mean, there's a way he can pick like Legion Commander, I would say, but I mean, I think Darkseer is the one they're looking for.
Makes sense. You can also throw some additional spells onto your CK to get him into the fight as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, because they go for Pugner. Okay. Thompson, Pugner, mid lane, your shard, you can then instantly kill the illusion. So for the mid to late game scenario here, Naga isn't always going to be, no matter what items you buy, your illusions will be dying.
That's interesting, very interesting answer, because it's also into AA, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna save, heal somebody.
And Primal
Beast, which is like a counter pick in a way to Pagna. So it's very ballsy from Thompson, I would say. And we'll see how it works, because in my head at least, when you have Grimstroke and Weaver, you want another like kind of front laner hero.
I
like
agree with you.
Pango can work, or Spirit can work, something like this. Maybe Walker can work, but Pagna is a little bit of a question, but I don't want to question Thompson, because he definitely knows his thing. Yeah.
He sees the world a little bit different, right?
I'm trying to like rationalize it in my head. I don't understand Thompson's mind. He is too big brain for all of us, but maybe he's banking on Primal rotating around, taking like a quick mid tower, opening the map up for his team. Maybe CK is intending to play very early with the team instead of farming more. Because I mean, right now they need him. They need something to play with, like the Grimstroke Ink Swell. Maybe they can get that on the last pick of Tundra if they don't want CK to be fully involved.
Again, I feel like, you know, Pugner kill Naga Illusion, you're asking for front lane, some like 33 Tidehunter or something.
Yeah.
Just, if they ban it out, but like Tundra need that body, basically, to soak a little bit. Because if they don't have that front lane, CK, he either initiates with an explosive kill, or he waits for someone else to set up the vision of the fight. And if they don't have that 33 style hero to do something, they're always going to be waiting for the next who starts the fight, and Pugner could potentially be food. So yeah, I love the Tidehunter ban. Darkseer that you mentioned.
I'm not even sure Darkseer is good anymore, because they have Pug now in the mid lane.
I really think we need some kind of another stun, because right now if I'm looking at this game from Primal Beast perspective, it's such a free game for me. There is nothing that stops me. There is like CK, okay, this lane maybe it's a bit harder to gank or do something on it. We still don't know where Primal is going, it can be offlane, right? And when every other lane, like Weaver do nothing, Pugna do nothing, and if we pick another guy without stun, like Primal Beast gonna have a really good game. Yeah.
I think Entity might be looking for Magnus on the offlane actually, just to pair what they already have with another, you know, carry type of hero. So this Primal and then this Magnus are gonna be this beefy guy. It's gonna create a lot of opportunities for them in fights.
I personally would like to see Primal mid, just because of what Dendy said of it already looking like such a good Primal game. I really want him to have the best time, because when you look at the safe lane, Grimstroke, CK, whatever offlaner goes to this lane is going to have such a horrible time. It's going to require like either a lot of help of rotations to come and try and like offset that, or I don't know, I mean maybe there's a world where you just like hard stack your Ancients and then Primal can take them and recover that way after playing the offlane.
Oh, you know one hero that is really good as well? It's Omni Knight.
Yeah.
I love the Omni. I'm actually surprised that people are not picking that hero like very often, because his level 10 talent is insane. If you go like Echo Saber into Anchor, like it's just very, very strong hero nowadays.
I think people shied away a little bit from Omni after groups because it felt that positioning in fights was really difficult for him. Sometimes maybe it was the way that they drafted around him, that he had to sit back and be more of a protector rather than getting to jump in and actually be that body whilst people were still building that way. So it was really dependent on the draft that happened around it and what aggression they wanted to be able to do and if he was going to stagnate and fall off.
I mean, I saw the game that Kasani was playing Omni Knight, and he went like Midas but
yeah.
Travel 2.
No one can forget that one.
It wasn't game for Omni Knight.
Dire's turn to pick.
Oh my god.
You wanted to say Sanky?
Radiant's pick.
Or we can tell us why.
Okay, so I was thinking Sand King because when I was thinking of front lane, maybe the front line from Tundra can come from how Weaver plays. The fact that he's Sakuchiing in, setting up the fight through, hey, look at me, I'm here. And then at any point, you have a Silver Edge Blink CK, the Blink from Sand King. You also can go Aghanims. So there's Naga throughout the entire game. How does she actually take the fight into the Life Drain insta-killing your illusions, the Ag Sandstorm just mini-stunning them the entire time, or even the Grimstroke down the line having the Ags to take a clone of you? It's a very anti-Naga draft for sure.
Can it potentially be Grimstroke mid and Pagna 4? Because I know Pagna Sanking was a pretty good lane before.
I'd
It
like to
potentially
see- yeah,
can be, right?
potentially, yeah.
It's interesting. Sanking I like because he's pretty good against heroes like A and obviously Naga, right? Like those heroes afraid of mobility, and Sanking is pretty mobile too later in the game.
Stormstormer Invoker, alright.
I actually don't like this pick.
Choose your hero.
It's heavily comfort, by the way.
It's into Pagna. How's the matchup, Dandy? Is it favor for Invoker?
How's the matchup? Invoker is very strong. I'm actually not sure if it's fair for Invoker. I think Pagna is also extremely strong laner. So like I didn't have this experience lately.
Every time he picks it, you have to just remind everyone the amount of games he's got on it. 2,855 games through pubs and competitive play combined. Like, it is a filthy amount of games. And if you ever want your mid laner to be comfortable, why not have near 3,000 games on a hero? I do prefer Tundra's draft.
Well, it gets shifted, the Primal to offlane, something that you didn't really want it at Sea Sheep, so are you now also the side of Tundra that you think this Primal might not be able to hit the timings that he
10 seconds.
needed to be that frontliner and create space?
No, I think, just like I said,
5
maybe if they
seconds
are
left.
just going to help him get back into the game, whether that's Stormstormer rotating to top lane, whether that's stacking the Ancients and giving him stacks, I think Primal can find a way back into the game. I personally love Sand King so much, and we rarely see him, that I'm going to be rooting for Tundra just based off that alone. Sorry, Entity, I love you very much. But I love Sand King. I think that hero is got very stark weaknesses in like when the enemy carry is super strong, but I think that you can get a lot of farm out of this game. I don't think he's going to be that pressured. I think it's a pretty lovely Sand King game.
Alrighty, well, you know, we've been talking a lot about this. We don't know if it's comfort. The only way to really know the answer is to ask the coach himself. We got Tsunami with Entity's coach.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm standing by with Metrum of Entity. Metrum, about a year ago, you had a very memorable match in Singapore against RNG. Now, a whole year has passed with this team. How have you grown as we look into this international?
I think right now we feel more confident, like we got some experience. Also, I think we are already like committing for the next year with this roster. So we feel like anyway that we, how to say it, like, you know, we go into the games with feeling that everything gonna be alright no matter what. So I like it. Like I think this year it's a bit easier for us than last year.
The energy seems good. Now tell me, if you had any other player besides Stormstormer, would you have last picked Invoker there?
I mean, maybe some players, there are some good players on Invoker, and we were like thinking, okay, we actually had a lot of options. And yeah, we just decided, why not we give Stormstormer his Invoker on the first stage map.
Why not put on a show? CL, you ready for this? Get ready for game number 1.
Oh yeah, and we're ready for it because I love the confidence coming out, and they're going to need it too. Because looking at this matchup, if you're looking at a team, you're matched up against the TI winners, you're probably the underdog. You're matched up against a player who's won 2 TIs, you're probably the underdog. If you're matched up against a team who you have lost the last 7 official matches against,
if you're matched up against
probably the underdog. Avery isn't true though, it's Entity. That much outclassed
the
by
underdog.
Tundra?
Avery, is it true though?
They
Is
have the
Entity
rank 1 player
that
on 2
much
servers.
outclassed by Tundra?
They have the Joel Man
rank 1 player on 2
himself
servers.
showing up with the Twitch chat support.
True.
That counts for a
Joel
lot.
Man
And they have Gabby, who I
showing up
consider
with the Twitch
one of
chat
the most
support. That counts for a
weird
lot.
carry players
And they
of the
have
past
Gabby,
few
who I
years.
consider
And this guy's
one
a
of the
huge
most
tempo creator. You
weird
take a player
carry
like that,
players of
put him
the
in the
past
off
few
lane,
years,
give him a
and
hero
this
like
guy's a
Carl
huge
Beast,
tempo
anything can
creator.
happen. I
You
don't know
take a
if they're
player
that.
like that, put him in the off lane, give him a
I feel
hero
like
like
this
Carl Beast, anything
this
can
match is a
happen.
lot more
I don't
even
know
than I
if
think
they're
people are
that.
going to give it on the scorecard.
I feel like this
Particularly if
match is a lot
Tundra
more even than I
don't
think people
begin
are
to
gonna
find
give
their
it on the
footing,
scorecard.
which has been
Particularly
hit or
if
miss with them
Tundra
with this
don't
roster that
begin
they're
to
trying
find
to
their
gel with
footing,
super fast,
which
right?
has been
Sure.
hit or miss with
You
them
can
with this
put
roster
a
that
player
they're
like
trying to
Thompson
gel
in
with
this
super
team,
fast.
world-class
right?
player,
Sure.
world-class
You
lineup.
can put a,
How fast
you
can
can
they
put a
make it
player like
work,
Thompson
especially
in
in a
world-class
lower
player,
bracket
world-class
domination?
lineup. How
Okay,
fast
well, we
can they
heard
make it
from
work,
Entity's coach.
especially
What about
in a
Tundra and their
lower
feeling
bracket
post-draft?
domination.
Okay, well, we heard from Entity's coach. What about Tundra and their feeling post-draft?
We have been practicing for 2 months, and it's time to just play the fucking game.
First blood. Thanks and have fun.
If you don't overthink things, just play the fucking game. Do whatever you feel like. It's gonna go good.
It's good to see that even TI winners need that boost of confidence and remind themselves
It's good to
they're
see that
really
even TI
goddamn
winners
good
need
at
that
the
boost
game.
of confidence.
And
Remind
it's a
themselves
surprise to be
they're
seeing
really
them
goddamn
in the
good
lower
at the
bracket
game.
here. And
And,
that is
it's a
probably
surprise
something that
to
shakes their
see them
confidence. And I
in the
agree with
lower
you. I think
bracket
Entity,
here.
they are
That's
certainly no
probably something that
pushovers,
shakes
and
their
they are a team that is
confidence.
probably going to
And I
test
agree with you. I
Tundra,
think Entity, they are
especially a
certainly
team
no
who
pushovers,
hasn't really
and they are a
experienced
team that is
too many
probably
lower
gonna test
brackets in
Tundra,
their history.
especially a team
No,
who
arguably has
hasn't
the most
really
dominant
experienced
TI
too many
record
lower
of all
brackets
time.
in their
So,
history.
new territory for them.
No, arguably
But
have the
it is
most
civilian
dominant
since
TI
we
record
had
of
the
all time, right? So,
NADC
new territory for
today.
them.
Now we get some
But it is
European
civilian since we
TBC
had the NADC.
gameplay today.
Yeah,
These are
now
two
we get
teams that are very familiar with
European
each other, and sometimes in that interregional matchup things can
play today.
So I would not be surprised if these teams
And sometimes
all
in that
out,
interregional
especially
matchup,
since we have a Nagasire and CK game. Both these illusion carries making their way back into the meta
Nagasire and CK
for good
game.
reason.
Both these
Control the lane,
illusion
control the
carries
map,
making their way back into the meta
control the
for good
gold
reason.
equilibrium.
Control the lane,
Tends to work
control
out
the
for you in
map.
the long run, especially with how these games are being paced.
Equilibrium.
Yeah, and Entity, no strangers to long matches at TI. After all, we heard Tsunami alluding to it earlier. Their best of one against RNG last year, win 101
against RNG last year, win 107 minutes. So we do end up having a long one. Entity is more than prepared for that.
This is a game that's going to get stalled out for sure. And it might be some early action on the lanes. I mean, you have very strong kill lanes, a lot of early synergy, and I feel like a lot of the tempo is going to come down to mid. Normally it's these offlaners, but you have a Stormstormer, Invoker, versus a Tops and Pugna, two Grandmaster tier heroes here. Can't really ask for anything more signature.
Yeah.
It's just going to come down to which of them gets to control the early game a lot more, in my opinion. Does Thompson get to play the aggressive Pugna with the Grimstroke combinations, rotating to these towers, getting early pressure, or do you get first blood on Fishman himself?
Well, second blood anyway was Fishman giving up that first blood earlier when we had that listening, but good to see he's able to bounce back. What do you think about this 9 Weaver anyway?
It is a hero he's been going back to over and over again. I don't know if he's getting the exact results he wants with it. For me, it's been a little hit or miss, but I understand the power of it, right? If you get into that mid game in a decent position like the Furion, where you're very high net worth on the hero, you just become a fourth core. It's a scary fourth core hero.
Sure.
And that's, I think, how Tundra prefer to operate. Let Thompson make a lot of the space on the map. 9 can become that secondary mid on some of these huge scaling supports like the Shadow Demon he's also like. And suddenly you're just playing up against too much scale for you to conquer in the late game.
One thing that's kind of curious to me is that in the past, when we saw Weaver support, people like to be able to run it with physical damage dealing cores. And here, yes, they have the Chaos Knight, but Pugna, Sand King, really not going to take advantage of the Swarm too well.
No, he's not the best Swarm. I mean, Swarm is
turn around, Gabby fighting up against Skeeter. Skeeter's going to just try and man up and see what he can do here. Runs into the brambles, and that's enough for Gabby to get away. Godfrey with the kill on Skeeter, going to Kataomi.
Gonna throw the blood grenade just for harass here. Yeah, you have to back up a little. A lot of resources committed from Kataomi, but happy to get the trade. CK down. Really nice for Gabby's tempo here. And we've seen Primal Beast go first phase for a reason. Give this hero a fast start. He's going to be able to combine with Stormstormer and take the fight around these runes, around the aggressive jungle areas, and scale into the CK as well. Both these teams have really addressed the illusion carry.
Going at it again in that top lane. Pivots, goes to Kataomi instead. Hits him with Aegis well, but he's already disappeared into the Shadow Realm, and Gabby's going to go back for it again. A second time. That's because Fishman has made the rotation, unable to quite get any extra damage in, though. They're relying on that third person to change the narrative here, and now Gabby is in potential to be run down by 9. Gets him with the blood grenade. That's enough.
Big Gemini hit. Level 3 paying off here for 9, especially with those grenades. This is a great blood grenade user in the Weaver. Just chase people down with the swarm. Grenades slowing them even more. Hits it. Nice counter rotation from Tundra. Keeping Skeeter in this lane. That would have been a debilitating death, especially with teleport on cooldown. Stormstormer flees for his life.
You can see pretty
better in this matchup.
Yeah, this matchup is going the way of the Pugna for sure. And Stormstormer.
Get him here.
Got him on the swarm, TP away, a desperate one for the blood grenade again comes through, the extra damage that's required. Thompson thanking 9 for finishing what Thompson started.
And now he's just gonna get 3 runes here, 3 rain, extra tower damage. Waves are gonna go straight into Stormstormer tower. He cannot TP back for this disaster on the mid lane, as we were talking about which of these mids is gonna get the better of the tempo. Well, it is already Thompson on the Pugna, and he has a lot to combine with. Like this Grimstroke Pugna combo, this goes back to OG at TI9. He is very used to playing this. This is the strength of the hero in Tundra's lineup. The Snaking starts to move around. You have Sand King to go in, set the stun up, make the team fight easy. And I want to point out that there's some hidden skill in this Pugna with the new Ags where you can reduce spell damage on enemy heroes. The debuff lasts a long time. If you go in the fight, you ever get this late Ags, you start channeling it on a Primal, channel it on an Invoker, even for 3 or 4 seconds, it's like you get hit by a Mage Slayer. It skews a lot of these magical damage cores going into the Pugna, and this tower's just gone at 5.5.
I mean, is this one of the fastest towers down in this tournament? It's gotta be.
That is the fastest for sure. Thompson draining his mana pool to take the objective. He really wants a 6-minute rune.
It will be a haste rune going over to Stormstormer. He'll take advantage of that to help run down Snake King. He'll get the bounty rune before he falls. Stormstormer gets some much-needed golden experience to help him recover after a really rough laning phase against Thompson.
He's just going to probably just go Vessel into the Midas. You need a recovery Midas at this point. Way too much has been taken off the map. And it's going to give space to Thompson. This is where his next decision, pretty important for Tundra's early game. Do you want to rotate this Pugna? Do you want to just keep farming it up mid? Probably not. It's probably going to be into bottom, right? Play through the Sand King, kick the Naga out, take another tier 1, just open up the jungle super early. Snake King can now just leave, play with Thompson, get that combination going, especially you get Wisdom Rune for an early Grimstroke ultimate. Fishman eyeing it up.
They know he's here, so they're going to bide their time. Wait for the 7-minute where he pops out. Yeah, they went for the smoke over, but I think they felt the rotation was going to land in time. Fishman desperately trying to get that Wisdom Rune to spawn, but it will not show up in time for him to steal it away.
I'll let him bottle it. Nice little core.
That is very nice. I think they know Fishman's game. I feel like every game I've ever watched of Fishman, he makes that move.
This man's not afraid to. May as well take the risk if you're not afraid of death, right? True. Be level 5 for 9 here.
Sand King is not a hero that we've seen a ton of, but 33 is making it look good so far in the laning phase. Top net worth, and straight up rushed into Vanguard, so now he's kind of untouchable. He's going to go into Boots of Travel, Blink Dagger as his options next. Did you like the Sand King pickup when you saw it?
I think this was a pretty good spot to pick it, because they knew the lane was going to be free. I mean, it's an ancient apparition Naga.
Yeah.
No way they're kicking 33 out of this lane with a strong support in the Weaver. You know he's going to eventually kick the Naga out as well, even if you wanted to leave him in the one-on-one. And then he just overtakes the jungle, starts doing through that. Have any.
Watson does manage to dodge the blast, but he's running into Snake King. Now the rest of Entity was on their way. Can they bail out their carry here? 9 is going to try and get him with the Inkswell, and that's going to be enough damage, but at the same time, Thompson does die, and he was probably worth far more than the Naga Siren was, and they're going to clean house on this one. What a read from Entity.
Abby shows up at the right place at the right time, and that is a lot of extra XP and gold for Stormstormer who needed it. That's where that first rotation with the Pugna, it's a double-edged hero, right? You're just so damn squishy if these fights end up behind the towers in deep areas where Entity can bring reinforcement. Thompson didn't get anything done with that early lane advantage. We're all evened up again. So sure, you got this tier 1 mid down, but mid's a different lane than it used to be, right? I don't feel like this tower just debilitates the map like.
Yeah, it is way more side lane focused because the map has grown bigger. We see a lot more focus on these deeper side of the map neutral camps rather than the ones that are closer to mid. Less focus on the triangle, which is mid lane is usually
top towers under attack.
Control.
Exactly, Ancient shifted away, so all these little things draw you to the sides of the map instead of mid. This tower was nice for Thompson, but it is not end all be all here. It's going to be a lot about these fights, and all of a sudden Entity strike back Vegan. Their cores are in solid positions now, right? Skeeter was still suffering up top in this matchup because Snaking left it early. The Tundra, they're going to go back to what they've done all year, which is out efficiency you on the map and get the stacks going. Probably for 33 here, who has always been the main beneficiary, the ancient cap progression side of Tundra. Wouldn't mind the fast bot side here if you're just planning to scale. This is the build that will help you go late game against the Naga Siren. You're looking for that Ags, Shivas, maybe even Radiant. Feeling it.
I feel like we haven't
right-click.
seen like a big boost in Boots of Travel purchases from before the map was enlarged, but it's got to be way more value, right? The way the map is bigger.
I mean, I always liked it.
Did you ever buy it?
I liked a lot of the items I never got to buy. A man can dream.
Yeah, you always want what you can't have.
I mean, I think the Boots of Travel are just nice on some of these melee heroes that like to run around in the middle of the fight because they get stuff. Extra boost is no joke in terms of dodging some of the primal spells or getting out of an AA vortex. Sure. There's some value here. He's still top network on this Sand King. Particularly if he wants to join fights like this top, the odds will make a lot of sense. As Skeeter has just been hounded up top, he's trying to defend this safe lane, not get too much room to Primal Beast. What point is that break, though? It would point to Entity feel confident enough to try and kick him out of here.
I love that neutrals can defend themselves pretty well from now on. Armlet built up is going to be the play, but Entity still seem to be just, like, they may have countered Tundra's move beautifully, but they haven't really made much aggressively themselves. They seem to be still in kind of mode recovery.
I think they're happy with this, though, based on how that mid lane went initially.
They're not happy with losing their Spirit Vessel completion. No. That's rough for Stormstormer, who's probably just ready to make a big move.
And they're just going to go top. I mean, the move for Andy is to this top lane. To kick Skeeter out of here while he's still here, only level 7. They have a huge amount of magic items going to him, including this Ice Blast that Fishman just picked up. You have to be careful if you're Tundra in terms of who you're showing on the front line, because there's a lot of long-range magical. Going out of Vortex, Gabby charges in. He could potentially have Bedlam on top of him, and then an Ice Blast gets thrown on top, right? I mean, it's a lot of long-range artillery here for Entity to just throw in a core without committing to the fight.
And the anti-healing is a big factor, right? Because they have so many...
Absolutely.
Like, there's Ink Swell with the shard later on. Gabby's charging.
He went late on the pick.
Silence. He's going to be in trouble. A tank gets the jump, and a beautiful jump at that. 33 closes the door on this fight before it even begins. Gabby and Kataomi are probably going to be run down as well. At least one. 33 with a third number there. Triple kill for him, and Gabby hidden in the trees will barely survive.
That was a guaranteed 4th kill he saw, so that is just almost an ultra kill for 33 out of nowhere. Putting an epicenter to better use than I've seen in a long time for Lone Spell, and now they're going to steal Ancient Axe on top of it. He's out of control already, right? That was about as good a blink reveal. We were talking about him going bots and like, let's defend the safe lane. Insta-buys blink, 1130, gets a triple kill into Ancient stack steal, and now he's already up to 1750 gold again. That blink just literally paid for itself.
Yeah, you know, Tundra, when we talk about farming efficiency on the map, especially ancient stacking, big deal for them, we usually talk about it on their own side of the map here. Them taking away Entity's farm is just going to be so debilitating. A big pickup, though. Dobson, he'll fall, trying to pick up a power rune, but 33 is going to show up and maybe get a rebuttal here. There is the Bedlam out, but the Nether Ward is doing some serious damage. Can they finish up 33? No, they'll both die under the Sandstorm. And Fishman's going to get run down. No tower to protect you here. 9 gets a double. Tundra will go ahead and defend Thompson's honor.
That move top just cost Entity so much in this game, because all of a sudden, your Weaver is ahead of the enemy in poker here. 9 got a huge amount out of these skirmishes. Full Solar Crest done. A very nice item he can throw just for the bonus armor on these frontliners here. Thompson's still struggling against the AA Blast. I mean, it's hard to just man up in the fight with a hero based on healing.
Gotta get away before Skeeter can grab you.
Turning into 33's game right now. He's about to run away with it on a hero that conventionally does not run away with games, right? This is not supposed to be like an axe or something where it's mega bad, you get crazy blink strike. A hero that has struggled in the meta and well out ahead. Continue to transition into something, and Entity kind of stall Tundra's momentum right now. Get back in this game. Bring Stormstormer once again back into a position where it feels like he can have an impact here. move top is still looming for Entity. Is they just can't open up the tier 1s right now, which you can't open up the tier 1s for a Naga lineup. There's just nowhere to go.
Smoke rotation from behind, grabs the 2 supports. Picture perfect for 33 once again. Do have Watson close by, might be able to help Gabby get out. Yeah, he's going to use the song, forced to use it.
I don't blame him. Put 33 to sleep here and get the hell out.
This man's just finding too much.
It's making it look too easy, right? It's just smoke in with like max ink swell on the Sand King. It's guaranteed chain stun based on how you can cast it now. This combo's even deadly.
Oh, that is a cute move. He may not be able to get there in time for the stun, but the extra movement speed helps him close the gap on Watson. Watson, of course, using the song to help others. No longer has it to save himself.
9 just setting up everything. One of the best killers in the game. Thompson gets down there immediately. Watson, wow, now you're messing me up. Too many suns in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Arcane Rune for Thompson. That is very scary. Even scarier, BKB is closing in soon. Once he has that, they have nothing to stop him.
Smoke from Entity. You know, a lot of the good kills they've gotten have come off the back of Fishman getting in there with an A blast.
Radiant's bottom tower needs a hand.
So it's got to be Gabby setting it up. And
oh, that would have been fortuitous if they rounded the corner and grabbed that bug in time. 9.
Smoke is just difficult. You look at the map, where's the Radiant Vision right now? You have 1 obs around mid, and that's all you see.
And now Entity is here in force, but so is Tundra. The way things have been going lately, it seems like Tundra are going to clear house on yet another team fight. Kaizomi does manage to stop Thompson there on the side, but Gabby's already dead. So these 2 supports are left with no cores to help them. Nice TP away from Kaizomi, but still hurts to watch your Primal Beast, the big playmaker you have on your team, fall once again in these team fights.
It feels like you just need TP, right? Or something to tankle this magic damage coming out from Tundra, because once they set up the zone of control with Sandstorm, they drop a Pugna Ward. You know there's this ink swell proccing on somebody that you don't want to just linger around. Hard to commit in, even with a Blade Mail in the highest strength in the game. And you just got to go back to stalling the team out of it, get to your next set of items. But right now, 33 dictating where these fights are happening with all the initiation power, and he's still holding this top tower. This is the part that's causing so many problems on the map. You are getting constricted quickly here as 9 running in mid. Another great ink swell target, by the way.
Maybe Watson, though, finally showing up to one of these fights. I mean, Naga Siren is not supposed to have to be active, but it does feel like a game where Entity is going to rely on him earlier than they should.
He can have good impact versus some supports, even versus the 2 beefy boys if he finds them with this Orchid second, which he's considering. I agree, like, you wouldn't want your Naga to have to be this active, but it might be a game where he has no choice.
Magic burst damage, it's gonna be trouble. He's not living through this one. He didn't even have Song of Siren back up again. If they could catch 33 on its way out, unfortunately, Tornado totally blind throwing that one out, did not clip 33.
Yeah, the Vision's just not doing any favors right now. The Vision's supposed to come off the Naga being able to shove the waves. Instead, they're getting shoved into you. You can't get really deep observers down because you won't control more objectives on the map. Gotta work with what you have right now. And every time Watson goes down, that Orchid gets delayed, which means the chance for Dispel items to come out on the side of Tundra make it less effective. It's kind of racing against the clock here in terms of can Naga drag this game back to the team.
Storm's going to be trying to drag back his own net worth into a somewhat decent position. Again, he's behind 9's Weaver. He's completing the Hand of Midas now, but it's going to be a long road for an Entity comeback if it's even possible.
You just can't get dragged into too many fights. 33 will go back to the pipe as well, so he's going to screw a little bit around scaling into rather than the Naga. This is a really nice
This might be for the best. Fishman tanks the death instead of Gabby, who they were setting up on for sure.
Yeah, that was a valuable.
And going through the portal, trying to get out of here. Tundra are in pursuit. Might be able to find one more. Yep. Kaizomi does manage to get out the Shadow Realm before the Silence Air close to the TP, but the Inkswell can stop it at any time.
At least we're not stuck in Coit.
3 continuing to control both side lanes here. Not be surprised to See Tundra continue to try and hold this top tier 1.
Dire's top tower is about to be Radiant's
Another
top
example
tower.
of desperation, calling for some moves you wouldn't normally see. Stormstormer trying to cut waves.
Middle tower is under attack.
Because the Naga Siren just cannot do it by himself, but Tundra had this map locked down.
There's nowhere to go. Even Thompson playing aggressive mid because he just rushed KP. It's just not a greedy fucking build at all. This is, okay, you have an AA blast, so what? I'm going to stand here and not take any damage. I'm going to use the fact that that tower went down early and just play solo. Everything is going through the Sand King right now, so not gobble up some extra waves. And again, you're talking about this Orchid threat on the Naga. I mean, there has to be some threat that Entity set up here in the next few minutes.
Radiant's bottom
If you come
tower
from the
needs a
Primal
hand.
Beast, Emblem on top, or a lot of long-range magical
Tower
bursts.
is under attack.
Some more aggressive wards down. Wards that have stayed up for the most part. They still have that deep ward on the left-hand side of the map on that ancient camp. So Tundra is having so much information where Entity is and where they're not. Nobody's bottom right now, so free damage on this tier 2.
Radiant's
Orchid is
bottom
completed.
tower needs a hand.
So ideally, Watson, you have to shove some of these lanes in. That top tier 1 did eventually die to creeps. Open up a bit more space. You can maybe get this primal BKB. That's your big time. I mean,
Dire's top
the
tower is
BKBs
about to
are
be
great
Radiant's
for Tundra's
top
line.
tower.
They gain pretty much everything you can get there.
Ward, that ward. It's going to pay off. Got him after the Manta. 33 has the ink swell. The chain is done onto his epicenter. Beautiful stuff, but it's Skeeter can die. Oh, man, what a dodge. Gabby charges right through that red flag, and now Skeeter can continue to chase down, surviving through the Ice Blast easily. Tundra, this is just absolute domination.
Yeah, it's just a run. Even 9 looking for Stormstorm with his dust. Everybody after these fights. Again, that connection with the primal does not hit like basically over. You have to be able to land this onslaught full rise on a big core target and just follow it up with all the spell damage you have. It's another engagement where Stormstormer doesn't even really get to use this vessel on anything.
At this point, if they had Hero to take the Tormentor, they'd be taking even more away from Entity. Beautiful stuff. I mean, this is like a relatively old school. Once Grimstroke got put into the game, this is one of the first combos I remember with Sand King Grimstroke.
It's a great Grimstroke line. Tundra really showing how this hero can stay on everything at the same time, right? All 4 of the other heroes are great with it as well, or Grimold combination. And I mean, yeah, this Sand King one just gets better. So you can perfectly chain running out.
9 and 33 are apparently able to do this. I mean, the Swarm actually helps you out quite a bit being able to do that, right? Tormentor can't kill it, so you're just getting constant line of Charmin there. Gabby in some trouble, needed to be able to get his BKB. He was closing in on it too. 400 gold away, now knocked down to 600 gold away, and they are going to take that Tormentor. There's just no doubt who's in control of this game right now. Tundra choking Entity out.
Hard for Watson. Hard. Is that your go-to now?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be way behind the hearts of both Skeeter and probably 33. They're both going for it.
I mean, is Watson even gotten on the higher side of the map this game?
Radiant's top
Really,
tower
no.
is under
Sometimes
attack.
you can get deep in the enemy side and start cutting waves, but I think the early pods playing Sand King just too afraid to go for that type of smoke enemy jungle type play. You just get kicked out immediately.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Even if they caught Thompson, he's got a BKB. The only thing that could actually stop him from there is really, realistically, the pulverize.
I sold that.
Yeah, they'll get the Grimstroke at least. Spirit Vessel just to make sure in case the Orchid wasn't enough. Stormstormer will nag that last hit. 15,000 net worth lead for Tundra at 23 minutes. Working towards, as you said, 9's going to scale up into a 4th core for Tundra, which just makes this lead all the scarier because they're going to scale really well into it. He's building a Gleipnir on this support Weaver.
Another Orchid, though, does not have a Dispel, and they're gone. That's a 5x streak, 1,000 gold in Entity's pocket there. So Watson making this Orchid net work on the heroes you can find to make it work on right now, which I guess is pretty much everybody outside of Thompson with the BKB. The pipe on 33 mini didn't go for a Lotus, for example, and we have Manta on Skeeter. But you're not really going to find Skeeter in this game no matter what, so you can keep finding some supports, find even the Sand King with this Orchid, get a few more cheeky kills out of it. Suddenly, Watson, number 1 on the net worth chart, could stall this game for a really long time.
They really are banking hard on him. We saw Thompson now has his shards, so really easy way to deal with mass illusions. But it's going to be caught here. Force-Use, BKB, Tundra are there in some reinforcements. Could easily kill the Dark Willow. Holding for this Roshan, I believe, as it's going to go over to the other side in 1 minute. But Tundra are clearly strong enough to do it on the Radiant side if they want it.
Really think this way. You get to the BKB on Gabby. I guess it is. Might have been more like this here. This is not a fight you fit, but the fight capability is slowly going up. Even got a gem. So this is enemy preparing to try and win the next fight at all costs. So they have vision of the Sand King guaranteed when Gabby goes in with the spell. And just try and put it to as much.
Oh, he almost sniped it.
That was pretty close.
It was pretty much the only thing you could hope for on the side of Entity is that they snipe the last hit on Roshan and get that bounty away from Tundra, get a little bit of gold into their own pockets, but not the case. 33, he's going to have hearts. Skeeter completing that as well, and now has an Aegis. So going to be some tanky heroes. No BKB, of course, on Thompson right now, but not enough heroes around on the Entity side to really make much of a buck. They're seeing their eyes, but actually gets pushed back and pulled back in then by Skeeter.
Look at shield room on Watson. I think Enemy were needing to fight this, especially if it's behind this tier 2 here. Gonna have to give it up though. Stormstormer getting some pressure top. I mean, hey, this is a Radiant here on the Dire side of the map, so.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The rat action begins.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Little by little. The Entity's motto at this point in time is tier 2 remains for them. And all these towers are constantly being defended by Tundra. Besides this top one, it's really the only place the Naga Siren and this Invoker have managed to hang out for a while.
That's the thing, it does have to kind of eventually
about to be Radiant's top trouble.
As much as he's going to have to come back. You cannot rely on the Naga illusions to fight. You have the Pugna AoE ward off the shard. You have a Trade Stroke that eventually create his own illusion off an Ags. You of course have Sand King who's just going to create his own control that Tundra can sit and not really care. Naga illusions are not going to win you this game, even if it gets small ultra late. It has to be the 2 other cores coming back at some point off a team fight. So that's what you're looking for. Wait out this Aegis and get something going on the map. Right now, Skeeter happy to just force the issue with his 2 lives on the heart. BKB done for Stormstormer, so that's second BKB here. Again, these BKBs are really good in these fights. Not a lot of physical to throw through outside of you getting reality rifted off of a swarm bug.
Tundra, it would be pretty early to be hitting high ground for much of the games that we've seen anyway. Nobody really wants to hit high ground unless they have an overwhelming advantage. And Tundra do kind of have that already. They have 2.5 minutes to make use of this Aegis.
Would that be the ultimate reverse trap card? Tundra ending the games early. Nobody saw that one coming. We're going to push 27 minutes. Thompson, Pugna, sieging your high ground. Okay, they gave up on the siege. Let's just commit the core. Daring Enemy to go on their front line here.
And it looks like Entity may not oblige. Okay, they're going to smoke up. They're going to try and do something here. They're going to pop the glyph now.
I mean, you have to take this fight. This is Tundra just daring you. If you're not willing to take it, what are you doing?
They're actually going outside of the base goal for 9 instead, who is cutting the mid-wave. This shows how little faith Entity has in being able to take these fights. 9 may end up falling. They just need a little bit more damage. Please tell me they're going to get something out of this. Okay, they do. Meanwhile, Watson was trying to push some of the heroes away towards that bottom lane, stop them from being able to get here. They're here now. 33 is going to make a jump forward. BKB immediately activated by Stormstormer to protect himself from these stuns. They'll lose their support, but maybe they can get even more. Immediately an Orchid placed onto the tanky. Remember, he is tanky with that heart, but they have plenty of damage thanks to Watson now being here. They might just be able to cut 33 down to size, trying to get away over that haste room. No such luck. Thompson turning it around. Great Nether Ward with but a song. Uh-oh. We've got some heroes with BKB, Thompson. Icicle on with that face his. Immediately tries to get away. Stormstormer into the invincibility. Hiding out Skeeter nicely. The Pulverize going to be able to grab Thompson while he's Magic Immune. They know that Magic Immune is running out too. Thompson needs the help. Where can he get it? He's not going to get it anywhere. Entity somehow making this comeback work for them.
Even got the Weaver buyback that turns it absolutely dumpy for now. Just crushed his economy. Gabby finding the openings, a nice smoke lane. Honestly, I think they were thinking they were going to have to go all the way around Tundra and look for the smoke from behind. Instead, they just found the Weaver mid. Might have just been a better case scenario. They also got snaking with the Invoker BKB, so both supports out of the fight initially. That's what you're looking for in your entity. And Watson, sure, you lose that Rax bottom. I mean, he can't defend it on his own, but you're happy to make that exchange, right? Your Aegis didn't even do anything there. Oh, still holding on to it.
Yeah, I mean, you were in it for the long haul. Now we have an 8,000 net worth lead that was cut down from, what was it, like 16? Maybe even more? I mean, Tundra was way, way far ahead. All they got was a melee barracks? I think that's totally fine for Entity.
Should have listened to themselves and not gone high ground.
Exactly. Learned your lesson. Never go high ground.
Now you get some breather. You get to T-ward some map with this gem. The deep ops for Tundra that were locking you down. Suddenly they're all gone. Tundra, who lack the vision right now, are going to have to force the fight blind. Will pick up Skeeter's BKB.
Yeah, much needed since that second life did expire, so.
He is still very big. That is the one thing that Entity were not able to address in that fight is Skeeter. If he was able to just sit there and take it, it would look very different, especially with a double damage route. That certainly will help the next engagement.
Yeah, a little bit. Entity probably still planning on dodging unless Tundra tries to hit the high ground again. After all, they're closing in on some pretty important items. Gabby the Heart, Invoker trying to get that Aghanim Scepter. Actually went Blink Dagger instead. I thought you needed just more firepower, just more damage against this double Heart. What do you think he's trying to reap out of the Blink Dagger pickup?
I mean, Invoker's damage does come from spells, right? It also comes from just being in there with BKB Alacrity, right? People, Blink allows you to do all of this instantly and maximize the time where you have the debuff immunity versus a lineup that kind of relies on you not having it in order to lock you down. Like, these BKBs are just so valuable for Andy. You need to make the duration thereof work for you and get as much as possible. That's why taking out the supports is nice. You take the Grimstroke out of the equation, suddenly you not having BKB isn't as big a problem because you're removing so much of the control and so much of the combinations. There's a double suck, double stun, all of these stun chains. In some ways, I think snaking is the best target to take out of the fight first, unless you can just kill 33 off the bat. And honestly, 33's item build this game, he had one of the craziest starts on Sand King we've seen in a long time, but he transitioned into Pipe Heart. And what these items are great for is that like early high ground timing, going with the team, seizing that base, saying, go on me, my region's gonna be too much for you right now. It's not gonna be some early like Shiva's Ags that would have dealt with the stationary fight into Naga, Invoker, post BKB, that type of thing better, right? He's pretty susceptible to getting bursted from physical damage. He just doesn't have any armor. He even went for Yules. So a lot of extra utility in this one with Sand King, but you're looking at 10 armor with bonus from a Cloak of Flames. You start getting hit by this Alacrity, you're gonna melt.
Yeah, we saw that in the last fight anyway. Second round of Tormentors are coming up, so Tundra will take theirs first. And this rate, they're going to be capped out on. Skeeter doesn't have his.
Surprised he didn't try and solo it. Just for the highlight.
Later on, Aghanim Scepter.
He's going that Axe. So pretty interesting to see him go this. I think it is one of the unexplored areas of Pugna in the current patch. Just need an anti-spellcaster. Not off of the ward, but off your ult. It's not really how people perceive the hero. Because a lot of these matchups are still seen as like more okay to play as long as you have This drain gets rid of a lot of the damage on Entity's side, particularly in the Primal Beast and Gabby. So I like that control. Okay.
Careful there. Can't afford any more Tormentor deaths. I hope that's a stat they put in future Battle Pass compendiums. How many players are going to die to a Tormentor?
How many of those are Fishmen?
Bloodthorn now done for the Naga Siren, another big item pickup for Entity. Does also mean there is a bit of a downside to this Naga Siren being so far up the network chart. Does mean he is going to be capped out kind of soonish. You know, he only has that one slot that's a Wraith Band slot. Then you start getting some diminishing returns on any of your follow-up items from there.
He did the Bloodthorn. I almost think the defensive value in it is better than the offensive amp here. Right, like him getting that Mage Slayer build-up, getting extra magic resist. That seems really nice. Whether he can actually get in here and use an active off it, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Dispel building up.
The Ice Blast on cooldown. Tundra is more than willing to take the fight. Domi's going to be in some trouble here. Self-Fuel trying to protect him, get off the Terrorite, does get it on to 3. And moves up together as a result. And Watson Gabby immediately pops on this opportunity. Taking out the back line. Thompson and Nines Weaver are both dead. Meanwhile, Skeeter's trying to do what he can, but he can't really touch this Naga Siren too much. Song's going to go out. The BKB means that only his hero can do the damage, so the illusions are rendered totally futile. They don't do anything, and now with 33 caught in the corner, gonna try and burrow strike over the side. Tundra TP up, but they have the vision to be able to stop him. Kataomi's gonna make sure he stays dead with a buyback and Yule's usage. 3 dead on the side of Tundra. Heroes that do not have buyback, all of a sudden, Entity went from, okay, this game could be over by 20 minutes or something, to now they're gonna even out the net worth lead. They're gonna get the Aegis, they're gonna get the cheese.
These EMPs with the suck on them, they're so annoying. It moves your positioning in a lot of these fights. It's just dragging you into awkward positions, but the biggest thing here is Kataomi with this Terrorize on 3 pre-tops and BKB. He got nothing off in that fight, just did not see it coming at all. And all of a sudden, you're just stuck in a bad engagement where you don't have the damage to take this. I mean, Skeeter's BKB is great here. What's he doing? Absolutely nothing. Naga's just healing through everything. 33 never even gets an epicenter off in this fight. A lot of things wrong on the initiation there for Tundra, and maybe not respecting the turnaround potential. Actually going up the hill like that. This is the type of game where you rather get these BKBs out from Entity and then take the fight afterwards. I think just running into them and taking that into 8 seconds where they're happy to sit there and hit you back. Yeah, you've been ahead this game, but you're not that far ahead, right? Items don't count for a lot in the physical man battle here, but only Skeeter during that duration.
You think that Ice Blast being on cooldown just wasn't enough at advantage for them to like force it? They need to take more methodical fights, which we've known Tundra for.
I mean, there's definitely some misexecution. Like if Thompson gets BKB and he gets all his spells off, that can look very different. And all these things are like a bit hindsighty, but they definitely got clumped up on that ramp and they got punished hard. And all of a sudden you're looking at a 1K game with an Aegis on Watson. This is where that Bloodthorn feels great, because now he can just go in and start manning up on people. It doesn't even care if he dies.
And now the Naga Siren illusions are strong enough to really start taking some map control away from Tundra, whereas before it felt like so much of this Pugna and Phantasm illusions running down the lane were actually securing more. Aghanim Scepter almost done for Stormstormer. So if you can get the lockdown, especially since the Ancient Apparition got the shard, right, you could have the possibility of hit him with the Ice Blast while the Sunstrike Cataclysm is raining down on him. That by itself is going to be enough to wipe out the supports, maybe even more.
Sleep Kata.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleep Kata Ice Blast for sure.
I don't know if that's what you really want to go for, but you can pull it off. You're good enough.
I mean, the offensive sleep, and then they immediately come out like Thompson's going to use his BKB. That's a dream for Gabby. Because Gabby's like, okay, you used your BKB. Yeah, I'm going to slam you into the dirt now.
That's why the BKBs are so powerful for any. If you just go in on Gabby, BKB, and you start pulverizing somebody, you drop a Kata there. What's the counterplay from Thunder?
Yeah, I mean, their whole counterplay is, I guess, it's like the Swell Shard heals, right? It's the Ink Swell that heals and also Hard Dispel. We also have the Pugna heals, but the Ice Blast counters so much of that. So.
I mean, I guess the strong Dispel from Snake King is becoming more and more important.
Yeah, it is.
Like, throw it on the Snake King, throw it on Peter, and let it break some of the initiation chain from Entity potentially. But a lot of their spells they're throwing out are just AoE, right? Like, we saw in that fight, you get hit by a Terrorize, you get hit by like Ice Wall, Song, the Onslaught through, these Ice Vortexes. None of these spells really care about you getting a strong Dispel on one of your cores. Outside of maybe the Orchid. That's one of the things that honestly has caused Tundra more problems than I thought would have in this game. Especially with the timing that Watson got it at, but he's been catching these Weavers, catching heroes without the Dispel later on in the fight. It's just sealing the deal. And now you have an Axe on Primal. A lot more AoE magic damage coming through.
Yeah, in that last fight, the Terrorize set up Gabby to get in there, but his AoE damage was nice. When you get Aghanim Scepter, you can actually start soloing heroes.
It's gonna be a problem.
Long, drawn-out fights that were supposed to go the way of the double hard pickups of the Chaos Knight Sand King. Now going to start playing against them when a Primal Beast is getting round and round after his Aghanim Scepter. Gabby, the smoke runs into Thompson, but on the other side of the trees, they don't see him. Do not react accordingly to catch him.
Remember, this Primal Beast still has a cheese. Great cheese target. There's no real anti-healing on the Tundra side. Yeah, he should almost guarantee get it off in this next fight. Even when Martyr's played, the extra fake ability to resist like that.
Jump forward here. Did manage to find the real Naga Siren. Not that Tundra going to do a whole lot with that just yet, but if they can kite it out a little bit, Skater jumping pretty far forward. Got grab. Wolverine's before he can get off the Phantasm, and he's dead.
Skeeter, you are not the one playing with your food anymore. You are the food. Lingers way too long. No BKB, no Phantasm.
Got the silence, and now the song. Looking to just grab as many heroes as possible. It's only going to be this Weaver, but they also spot Snaking there in the corner. Nobody has the mobility to stop it, though. Thompson, smart move. Smokes up with the ninja gear. It immediately runs down the mid lane, knowing that losing their carry puts them in a position where they could be losing barracks. He's got to get out there and cut the creep waves. As long as he doesn't get caught in the process. Stormstormer knows he's around here somewhere. Misses the tornado. Thompson deeper into the trees. If he got caught there, if he got spotted, he would die. He does not have his BKB.
This is where some of those Pugna games just start to feel bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason we don't see his hero a lot. It's because when the games start to go wrong, it can go really wrong. And you can't rely on him to just play a defensive-oriented Pugna with saves on a core, because that A blast is always there. There's a lot of interrupts from Invoker. Becoming a very tough game for him, despite having a tremendous early game here. Thompson struggling to make his impact felt in these fights, outside of dropping a Nether Ward and hoping it's enough. Have just reversed all the momentum in this game, and now they're the ones with 10k gold lead. It's like just cruising into this ultra late with Invoker scale. This guy's got almost 3,000 games on it.
The Invoker scale, I mean, we were talking about it early on of like this Hannah Midas, will it get the Invoker back into the game? A little bit doubtful that it would, but he got there. And now, Kataomi, who also went ahead of Midas, he can also be a scaling factor for entities. So it's not like it's really going to be stopping anytime soon. He's got a Hannah Midas and has part of the component to his Aghanim Scepter in his gold bank right now. So
don't look good.
Bottom 3 to top 3. Stormstormer's journey in this game has been everywhere, but he has found his footing now. He's just in the late game.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Tundra,
attack.
let that momentum slip. We're going to try and claw back with the smoke forward. A jump onto Gabby. A hard hero to bring down. They got 9. Plenty of chain stunts. Yeah, they did find 9, and Gabby gets the half health before he has to use his BKB. Now he's going to charge back in with the Yield Scepter. Put on Thompson. BKB, Ink 12, Wolfbeam. Trying to get him out of there. What a grab there with the Soulblind, though. Double stock going out. BKB from Stormstormer trying to get away. While Watson protects his heroes with the Song of Siren. Activates now. BKB down. Greater than Chaos Knight. One-on-one. This carry battle lane is no match.
Stormstormer, 200 HP. Tundra got frozen because not finish his Invoker off.
Even the supports are surviving through this one. Thompson in trouble with Gabby and Watson surrounding him. Finally, jump forward from 33 will help finish off the Ancient Apparition, but he's being kited around now. Unstun on its way, hiding underneath this Sandstorm. Desperate, trying to keep Entity at bay, but they will come and hit hard. So is Gabby charging straight through that Sandstorm and flattening the Scorpion.
That fight almost got turned off of a crazy Sandstorm in the back off 33 and a great leash from Snaking. But honestly, these BKBs are just doing way too much for Enemy right now. And Watson, there's just nothing controlling the Naga in the fight. He is putting out the most damage right now, just shredding people. This is Bob to deal with right now. Which fire do you try and put out first? And all of it went on Gabby at the start. That is just not the target you want to be going on if you're Tundra. And one Gabby is very happy to take up with this Martyr's Blade. You may have to use the cheese. It's just heart regen.
Continue this carry matchup. I mean, the moment we got the butterfly on Watson, things really did start to turn. Yeah, Skeeter can get an MKB, but it's really not doing much for you when this battle is an illusion battle, not a hero versus hero. It's all about who's using those illusions more effectively.
And the Hex on Watson. I mean, that fight started off with 9 getting nothing off. He was trying to scout and play aggressive with BKB. It's another instance where a hero on Tundra with BKB that is supposed to guarantee them an entrance in the fight doesn't get it all. Patients have just been all Entity for the last 20 or 25 minutes here. Will reap their reward as they get a full lane and 2 tier 3s.
Game started with Tundra taking one of the fastest towers of the tournament, taking one of the fastest barracks in the tournament, and now they're the ones dramatically behind. 21,000 net worth lead for Entity. A full lane of barracks down in the bottom lane, and a Roshan fight that they have to contest, but have no momentum going into it. Skeeter, his smoke breaks, and immediately the retreat.
And this is just Tundra hoping the smoke works out. Hoping that Skeeter can somehow create some sort of opening off illusions and has him up in 10.
Gabby, once again, wanting to be the target, trying to be the person to break the smokes, get the information. Got that cheese still after all. Katomi's looking forward, trying to get an initiation. 33 gets his jump on the Invoker. Immediately the Cataclysm. Skeeter already down to half health. Pops Phantasm, tries to go back to Watson, but Watson is kiting this one out. They don't need to fight right now. Go by double pull back in. Could that be good enough? No, the Terrorize puts away all the Chaos Knight. 33, he jumps in, trying to control up Watson as long as possible, but the song goes off, bails him out, and now he starts healing back up. Gabby's trying to get this going already, popping that trample, wants to be able to lay down these cords. 33 with the Sandstorm trying to protect himself. If those impales can do enough, maybe they can still turn this one. Maybe Tundra still has a chance. And Skeeter goes back in, trying to go for the big primal beast, but he is tickling him. It is not real damage. Thompson is draining a lot though. Maybe it's Thompson who can do this one, but the silences are still a problem. Out of the BKBs, he's doing what damage he can, but the heart is rectifying any bit of damage that is being done. Enemy are healing up time after time, and the Ice Slash blast. That heal out of the place. This fight has gone on so long, but no heroes of Entity are dying, and every single one of them of Tundra will fall.
They just can't kill anybody. There's way too much sustain in these types of fights. Especially this Naga song. You're healing up heroes with percentage off of such high HP pools here. Gabby, I would love to see the amount of damage Gabby has taken this game. They probably killed him 10 times over, and yet still not once.
Yeah.
I mean, Tundra are putting out the deeps. It's just not all going into one target. It's all getting spread. 33 does find Stormstormer again. This is the target you want. Another great soul line. And what does it yield? The song resets everything. You still have some BKB duration up, and then Gabby just goes to town. Not to mention second Ice Blast. I mean, can't fight off one. The second one should do the trick here. Now you're just looking at potentially Megas.
Yeah, Tundra, they don't have the buybacks to be able to contest this really with their full squad. This is looking like the buildings are going to die too quickly. Les Thompson can somehow persuade them not to hit the buildings and go for him instead. Jumps for it, goes 2-man Burrow Strike, not too bad. Cataclysm goes down, Thompson's got to dodge that one, but 33 can't dodge anything. That's when he's been grabbed by the Primal Beast. Locked down there. More draining from Thompson, and they are going to be able to force Entity back here. They respect the fact that with that buyback from 33, they still could get caught in a sticky situation. They leave that final melee barrack still up.
And Thompson is struggling, man. Life Drain is an okay spell, but it just looks like it doesn't exist in this game. You have cores with 50% plus magic resist sitting on heart regen. It literally doesn't lower your HP at all.
Yeah, and the whole idea we're talking about with the Aghanim Scepter maybe lowering some of the damage that's coming out from these heroes, particularly the Primal Beast. Maybe he starts doing nothing in these fights. Well, it's only just now here. All these long life drains, he didn't have the Axe.
At least now you're getting some utility effect out of it.
Yep.
You could not rely on the
side fight Bloodthorn. Watson does not put his hero in danger. He lets Gabby charge for it. You take him out. I'm going to wait for that second life. And sure enough, Skeeter does the buy. He immediately buys back. Soulmine onto 2 cores here is pretty nice. But the Song of Siren ruins everything. Here comes the Ice Blast. Lined up. Goes straight for 9 and Thompson. Thompson pops BKB trying to kite backwards. Gabby's going to be targeted once again. Puts himself forward. Gets the Dim Spell. Turns around. Goes for Thompson. Without that BKB, yeah, they'll just pound those bounds into dust.
Skeeter finally back. He's still fantastic from behind, however.
Yeah, he's doing absolutely no damage with just his hero. In fact, he pops the BKB, and now he doesn't do anything as Gabby once again grabbing hold of these heroes, not letting them go anywhere through this one. Runs over the Sand King as well, and Entity do it. A comeback, one of the biggest disparities, one of the fastest disparities in this playoff so far. Tundra had a full lead and he held on and turned the game fully around.
That is not a game I expected to come back that swiftly, and it just turned on a dime. Ever since that one fight